Hey, so today I'm going to share how I do a live online party. It was something that really intimidated me at first, and based on conversations I've had with other people, I think it does for a lot of folks. So what I did to get over that initial fear of it is I held a mock party for some friends of mine, and I invited my aunties who are very supportive and a couple friends from high school who I hadn't really talked to in a while, but they are in direct sales and I kind of wanted their feedback on it. And then I just had some of them invite other folks that I didn't know, so that I would get some perspective of folks that I didn't know and that hadn't heard of Trades of Hope. So it was kind of nice to get that. What I did is I offered 3 prizes, and that was a lot, but I wanted to reward the folks who were supporting me. The first prize was for anybody who made a comment. They would get their name entered into a raffle, and actually a raffle ticket for each time they commented. And then the second one was if they invited somebody else who I didn't know who actually showed up to the party. It wasn't just about inviting folks, but they actually had to show up. And then the third raffle that I had was for anybody who sent me a comment afterwards or some feedback, because I really wanted to figure out what I needed to do and how it was coming across to people. And I got so much amazing feedback from it. In addition to, I got 3 parties booked from it, which was awesome. So it was nice to get over that hump, and now I feel so much better about it. I really enjoy live online parties. I get a little bit of an adrenaline rush from it because it's fun. You're managing a number of different things at once. And they're just, the flexibility of it is awesome because I can do it while my children are, in next door, they're reading a book or whatever, and I'm doing a party. And even if they come in and interrupt me, I can still have the party and keep going forward. So if you haven't already watched, I have just posted a video of live online party host coaching. It's a little bit different than coaching a host for a home party. So make sure you watch that. And then don't worry about taking any notes during this on the posts themselves. I set up a group on Facebook for my team members so that they can have access if they want to grab any of the posts and change them however they want, but then also to see how it looks once I have the graphics and everything with the posts. So if you want to add yourself to that group, I have the link down below. And that way you don't have to scramble and write anything or take screenshots. So before we get started on the actual nitty-gritty, I wanted to talk about just a few general tips. One is I have four kind of basic tips that I want to talk about. One is on variety, that you really want to have variety in your types of posts and things like that. So as far as the length, you want to have most of them short to medium length, either a small paragraph or a couple of paragraphs. You can have a couple long ones, but if any more than that, you tend to start to bore people, and you don't want to bore people on your online party. The next thing is content. You want to vary what kind of content you have, like as far as about the artisans themselves. You really want to share stories, but then you also want to have some lighter and fluffier ones of that they're just about a product. Are you going to the beach this summer? Well, here's some great totes. So you want to have a variety in content. Format as well. You want to have posts, and with every post you want to have at least a graphic or a picture. You never want to have just words by themselves because that's boring to look at. You want something that's going to catch their eye and be memorable. But I have, mostly it's a post with a graphic and then some video links, but, just have a little bit of a variety. The second main tip is to have, make sure you're thanking your host and her guests a lot. I was on an online party with someone, and the representative didn't even acknowledge anybody. It was basically about her and her products, and that was it. It was like nobody else even existed. So make sure that you are acknowledging people, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But you're acknowledging the guests and the host as well. I acknowledge my host and thank her at least like 3 or 4 times publicly, but then also privately, because I think that's important too. The third tip is I have just a plain notebook for online parties, and what I do is at the top of the page I put the host's name, and then I have her phone number and her contact information. But then as her guests join the event, I add their name to the list, and then I acknowledge them on the main post where it says what you're going to need for the Facebook party. I just say, welcome to the party, so glad to have you here, looking forward to tomorrow night, and I tag them in that post so that they are welcome to the party. And that just is another way of acknowledging them. and getting them involved and whatnot. So in the days leading up to the party, what I do then is, I'm not acknowledging people as they come, and I generally do it like once a day. I don't acknowledge each individual person, but it's then I put a little tick mark next to their names so that I know that I've welcomed them. And that list then helps me during the party to know who's on. I circle the tick mark to show that they're actually on the party. And you can do whatever system works for you, but this is just what I do. And then after the party is over, I keep track of, because I raffle off a little prize for comments that are made. I keep track. I put a little tally marks next to each person. And when I go through after the party is over, I start at the bottom of the party and I work my way up. And that does two things. One, it helps me count the comments that people have made, but then it also makes sure that I haven't left any questions unanswered. So it's a kind of a nice two thing there. The last tip that I have, the fourth one, is about timing. You want to time your posts about every 1 to 2 minutes. During the beginning of the party, I do about every 1 minute or so. Just kind of you base it on feel. And then as time goes on, about every 2 minutes. For videos, you want to allow about double the amount of the video, because you have to assume it's going to take them a little while to get there. So if you have a 3-minute video, allow 6 minutes from the time that you post the video until the time that you post your next post. So that's about it for general tips. You've got everything set up, in the back office, on Facebook. The host has invited 20 to 30 people, and you've done your hostess coaching, obviously. And depending on how much time is between now and the party, it'll depend on where you do your posts. But I have a series of posts that I have, and it's just to give people an idea for who we are, what we do, get them interested. I include some videos here because it is easier for them to watch them before the party as opposed to during the party. But I start off, and these can be in any order. So if you're looking at it, letter D, this is a post, and I don't include the D, a few style boards. That's just for me to know, what it is and when I do it. But it's just, I'm so excited you're here, looking forward to the time, and you list the time and whatnot. So those are just some style boards, gives them an idea of our products. The next one is win a prize with your comments. I want people to know that I really want them talking as opposed to just me posting things. Gives them a little bit of background on who I am. March 2013, my neighbor invited me to a Trades of Hope party. Take 97 seconds to watch this video. You always want to give them a time, especially if it's a short video. Make sure that they know it's short, because sometimes people see a video and they're like, oh, another video. And then the next one is just one of those light and fluffy ones. It's a sneak peek at one of our best deals, the Mumbai earrings, 2 pairs for $28. That's easy for people to read. It's not anything heavy for them to digest. So the next post is the video from Gretchen's trip to Cambodia, and it shows her talking with the artisans. And to me, it very authentically represents who we are and how we strive to have dignified business partnerships with our artisans. I absolutely love this video. So I post that the morning of the party. And then what I do is I want to make sure that people are remember that we have the party. A lot of times, especially around dinner time, most of my parties are 8 o'clock. So especially around dinner time, folks are getting busy feeding kids, getting them off to, sports, things like that. So I just want to have a little reminder of, hey, we got a party coming up in a couple of hours. So 2 hours prior to the party, I give another host compliment, and I put the Queen Elizabeth picture to kind of get their attention. But it's basically just saying, hey, we're going to be here at 8 o'clock. Make sure you refresh your browser, and all you need to do to attend is to join this party. I had a couple people in the mock party and my first couple parties before I put that post in that they're like, how do I join? What do I do? So that kind of takes care of that, hopefully. 1 hour prior to the party, I put up little things make a big difference, and 1 hour to the party, again, thanking the host. May seem like a small thing to purchase a product or host a party, but it makes a big difference. 15 minutes prior to the party, I'm just getting my kids settled in, and to me that shows that, you know what, you can do this with your kids at home. It's a great flexible job for whoever wants to take advantage of it. But I'm just getting the kids settled in, grabbing my own tasty beverage, see you in a few. And then 10 minutes prior is that's definitely my longest post of the party. I put it out there just so that people can see who I am. if they want to. Some people like that, but I also warn them that this is the longest post in the party. It's to keep folks who log in early from getting bored, or when you can't fall asleep later because you're so jazzed up about helping women in the world. So it goes into, you know, why, this is my why, basically, of why I got involved with Trades of Hope and why I love it so much. 7 minutes before the party, I put the Facebook Parties 101 up, just a few tips of what to do, and then 5 minutes before, it's the roll call, and this is the post that I pin throughout the party. I used to pin each post as I put it up, but when you're doing it every 2 minutes and people are constantly posting and trying to catch up, they don't really, it doesn't make a difference if you're posting or pinning that one, sorry, if you're pinning a certain one, the post that you're on, because it stays up there for such a short period of time. So I just keep the roll call up there, and that way it's nice because there are a lot of times where people are coming 10 to 15 minutes into the party, and this way they see that post first and are able to introduce themselves. That's the one that I want to know who's all on the party. So basically what they do is they list their current city, how they know the host, something they're passionate about, and then if they've ever heard of Trades of Hope. So I put that up with the picture of the kids raising their hands, and then I put a comment of my own so that people just have an example of that. And then at the top of the hour, I put just the sign, let's get this party started. Don't forget about comments, and then posts are numbered 1 through 20. So to actually get into the party, I number them so that people know the order, because it is telling a story, and it's nice to be able to know, you know, which ones you've hit. And that's why I ask people to like things, is so that they know which posts that they've actually read before. So the first one is just a welcome to the party. Thanks for taking the time to join us. I acknowledge, I tell a little bit about who we are. I acknowledge the host, and then just show one brief picture. And like I said, this is just a minute. It shouldn't take them long to read that. Same thing with the second one, the general purpose and a few of our products, just to give them an idea of who we are. Again, don't give them more than a minute, otherwise they're going to get bored. The third one is, I like to address this question right away, as are the artisans paid well? Because I think it's a question that everybody has at a party, but not many people are daring enough to ask it. So I just kind of address that, get that out of the way, that they earn 4 to 6 times more, and all that, and then giving Haiti as an example of some numbers to give them a sense of how well we're paying our artisans and how much we care about them. The fourth post is about Ya, one of my favorite groups, and just kind of showing a little bit of a few more of their products and whatnot. Number 5, and that one I probably do about 2 minutes so that they can get through that and scroll through the pictures that are there. The fifth post is the Sonia bag and the artisan cards. I like to give people an idea that they will be getting the story of the people, of the artisans, and so if they want to give things as a gift or know more about the people who made their products, that they will. The sixth post is Kisses from Katie. One of the other things that I really try to do is to make sure that it's an interactive thing, giving them an opportunity to comment. When I first did my mock party, I didn't have very many questions in there, so people were just posting comments of, oh, I like this, that type of thing. But when you give them a question, a solid, meaty question, now this one's not really a meaty question, but some of them are, then they have a chance to respond to it. And so I just tell the story of Katie and show some of the products. And then sex trafficking, number 7, in Bangladesh. Again, this is sort of a heavier one, especially with the question at the bottom. Could you imagine being in the situation where your choice was to either let your children starve or sell your body for sex in order to put food on the table? And so thankfully, these women no longer have to make that choice. I always want to leave with a sense of hope at the end of a post, and especially at the end of the party too. So the 8th one is the Julia necklace, made by a group of young women, and the favorite part of the necklace. And then I just ask them, how's the pace so far? And again, you're going to have some people who say, oh, just fine, and some people say you're going too fast, or I'm catching up. Most people don't complain. So the 9th one, here's my video. So this is the longest one. And what you just want to do is keep an eye on the clock as you're going. So if I'm my 9th one and I started at 8 o'clock, I should probably be at about 8:25 or so. So I post this one, and this is a long post, and then it has it's a longer video than what I would like. I want to make a different video, but for right now, this is the one that gets tells my story the best. And so I put this video out there. It's a 4-minute video, so I allow about 8 minutes for this post for people to get through this post. And then what I do is in the comments of this post, I put a couple of the products that we get from Haiti. I put the Haiti signature bracelet and then the Freed to Fly cross, and I just put their name and then how much they cost. You can put others as well. To piggyback on that one, number 10, Haitian Creations, More Hope, and I love that note from Chandler just because I think it really shows that worldwide, if you look at the numbers, the millions of people in poverty, we're not making a dent, but are making a huge impact to those 12 women down in Haiti who now have a job because of the sale of those 2 bags. So just showing how we're making a difference. And then having another question, which pattern would you prefer on your bag if you could choose? The number 11, the Survivor Bracelet, Costa Rica, trying to show a little bit of just kind of a fun product. And then, question, if you were stranded in the woods, would you rather have a Survivor bracelet or a pocket knife? Not everybody answers the questions. Don't be offended if people don't, but it is kind of fun to get discussions going. And each party is so different that sometimes you might get a huge discussion on one that in past parties, nobody even touched that question. So number 12, making a difference. This just kind of shows how we're growing, but how we're still at a ground floor level, that if people want to jump onto a journey that's bigger than themselves, it's a great way to impact the world. Number 13, Cherished and the Redeemed Necklace. Again, the question, did you know that between 15,000 and 18,000 women and children are trafficked in the United States every year? That one was, I just wanted to do a little education because I think that's an important part of our business, is a lot of people don't realize that sex trafficking is here in the United States as well. Costa Rica, number 14, one of my favorite products, just showing a couple pictures. Oh, that's the other thing, is with your pictures, don't just show a product picture all the time, because a lot of times people like to see the product on a model, or how big is it exactly, what does it look like on a person. So it's kind of nice to have that. Number 15, bowls, home decor, anyone? You want to change that, and I have this, everything highlighted in my Word document that needs to be changed. So anything that's specific to a party or that could be seasonal. So like this one, if it says, or think Mother's Day or Teacher Appreciation, if it's in the fall, I'm not going to have Mother's Day. I'm going to have something more appropriate for that time. Number 16 is a seasonal post, and I changed that one out. Right now it's heading to the beach this summer, need a tote. That one's a nice quick read. So obviously with that one, you're not going to leave 2 minutes for them to get through that post. Popular and favorites. I totally have a fashion phobia, so this helps me a lot and it's a nice way to show a bunch of the products at one time. And this one generally gets quite a bit of discussion from people because they like to pick their style and that type of thing. 17.5, this one I just threw in there if we have specials going, so you don't want to forget about the specials, any sales we have or promotions that we have going on. Number 18, does Trades of Hope mission appeal to you? Obviously going through some of the benefits of hosting and of joining as well. And then 18.5 is something that I'll add in, and this I don't actually have on the Facebook group, but it's just gifts of hope. If there's something that, if we have the graphic, I'll add that in right there and talk about how we tie the percentage. Number 19 is just a thank you, and then the nuts and bolts of, the flat rate of shipping and how long it takes, and visiting the last calls under the party link. And then the last official post is a thanks for coming, and then I always pin this one. So this takes the place of the roll call that was originally pinned, and it thanks them again, and it says we want you to be happy, so please, it gives my contact information. And then don't be shy, get out and shop, and then when the party will close so that they know. And you can always encourage them to share the post with others, or the event with others. And then I always add this last one in as long as I'm doing a raffle. which I have just to get more comments and involvement with people. But it is post number 21, I fibbed. There's one more post. I appreciate you taking an hour out of your day. Give me about an hour to follow up with the questions and going through the comments to announce the raffle winner. And then just say, you know, if you asked a question and I haven't answered it, please ask it again. Sometimes I miss things. Fabulous party, and then the party link again. And then about an hour later, depending on how long it takes to go through everything, you thank the host again and then put another plug for if anybody wants to host a party, because at this time they're so busy shopping, hopefully. And then you announce the winner of the raffle and tag that person. So that in a nutshell is, well, that's not really a nutshell. That's what I do for my parties. Like I said, I've had really great success with them, and I've been really happy with the flexibility of it, and just you know, adding another tool in my tool belt. So I hope you got something from it, and good luck, and get out there and do lots of parties.